Hello there, friends. I would like to take a few moments to talk to you about a very real problem. Mobile. If you're anything like me, a C-sharp developer, you're probably feeling a little left out these days. Maybe you have a great idea for a game or an app of some sort and you want to get started. So what do? Well, you fire up your trusty old Visual Studio and you build to your heart's content. Then you release your app to the general public on their Windows Phone devices, which are really getting cool these days, and all is going, well, okay, I guess. No matter how cool of a game or app you create, you still aren't reaching the market share with just Windows. No offense, but the big players have been and are still Android and iOS. Yes, Windows Phone is getting bigger and better, but it still has a ways to go. So what's the answer? Let's get on more platforms. Let's start targeting Android and iOS. But how, you say? Oh, well, that's simple. Well, first we head over and we learn Java, of course. So we head over and we learn the Java programming language, and this is pretty cool. We can do some pretty cool stuff. It's kind of like C#, so you're not totally lost in the woods, but you need a really good IDE, something powerful like Visual Studio. Well, you can always grab Eclipse and you can extend it and do all sorts of crazy things and do really cool programming languages with it and plugins and, well, I guess that's cool, but maybe you don't care. Maybe you just want to create an app. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. So you could maybe just go ahead and grab Android Studio. It's a very streamlined IDE made for really building Android applications and getting things up and running quickly, and it could feel kind of similar or interesting to you, or maybe it doesn't. Or I guess you could head over to JetBrains and you can grab IntelliJ. Very cool IDE, does a lot of great things, builds a lot of really great Java applications and Android applications, and yeah, that's great, but now what? So I have all these tools and I've learned a language. Now what do I do? Oh, let's build our app. Well, before you can actually do that, you're going to have to go over and learn about the platform itself. You're going to have to go to developer.android and learn some more, not just about Java, but about the Android platform and how things piece together, and learn how the application lifecycle is different from maybe your Windows app or from a typical application that you've built in the past. But finally, you've made it. You've done it. You have ported your C# game into Java, and now it's out on Android devices, and everything is going, well, better, I guess. But you can still move on. You could still learn new things, and you can get out on the iOS platform. So what do you have to do that? Well, we have to go learn Objective-C. Kind of a new cool language, but it definitely feels a little foreign if you're coming from C# as your first language and haven't done C or C++ in the past, but that's okay. It's always good to learn new languages and expand your horizons. But of course, to do that, you're going to need an IDE, so we could go ahead and grab Xcode. It's a good IDE, and you'll learn a lot of cool things. It's got some good tools built into it, but in order for you to actually learn how to write some iOS code, you're going to have to learn about Cocoa, and it's not incredibly difficult, but it's just more to learn, and it's built on Objective-C, and it helps you do a lot of cool things natively on iOS and Mac platforms, and that's really cool. But wait a second, in order to do all of this stuff, I'm going to have to go buy a Mac now, which I have nothing against a Mac. I own a Mac, but it's another piece of the puzzle. It's another step that I maybe wasn't anticipating. But that's okay. It's for a good cause. We're going to build this app. It's going to be great. We're going to get it out on iOS, and everybody's going to love it. So now you spend months working on porting your C# game into Objective-C, and you finally get it out on the App Store. Great. You did it. Congratulations. But along the way, you haven't really seen the light of day in about 2 years, and your family and friends have deserted you, and your own dog doesn't even know who you are anymore. Wait, you did have a dog, didn't you? Wouldn't it be easier if you could just bypass the vast majority of all these steps and just learn to write your apps in one language with one IDE and still be able to keep your friends and family? Well, of course it would be. And I'm here to tell you that you can do just that. And all you need is this: Visual Studio. And of course, a little bit of help from your friends over at Xamarin. With these two put together, you can start to build applications that will target all three platforms, while being able to use a language that you already know, and being able to use a lot of your code on all three. Interested? I know I was. Now, I'm not going to say that this is an easy road, and yes, you'll have to do some learning, but you can do it all through one language and with tools that you're already comfortable with. So let me walk you through the basic process of being able to write mobile applications in C# that will target the Android platform to start. After that, in another course, we'll move on to targeting iOS and even being able to run your app on all three platforms with nearly a single code base. Don't believe me? Just wait. This is Building Android Apps in C# with Xamarin, and I'm Derek Jensen. Hold on to your hats. Let's get started.